Angie, and you're watching Dante's Vaccination.
Canelo wants to be great. He wants to be great. So in order to be great, you have to fight the likes of the Jacobs, the Charlos, everybody depends for that.
Are you scared? Where you at, Cinnamon?
Apparently, Canelo thinks he's in Europe. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? I told you guys on many occasions that I hope the day comes when Oscar De La Hoya is no longer just saying what he has to say because he works with Canelo Alvarez and he's able to speak freely and tell the truth about the situation with Canelo, from the Charlo situation to the Andre situation and everything else. And that day has come. I didn't expect it to be this soon. There's still a lot more to come out, but Oscar is already starting to leak the facts. He's already starting to leak the truth. And it started with Jamal Charlo. Now, there's other things that we learned when Canelo Alvarez had sued Golden Boy and DAZN and he left them. We found out, according to reports, that DAZN, they were not happy with the level of opposition that Canelo Alvarez was going up against. They were telling him that these fights are not worthy of us paying you $35 million. They said that in the contract, the contract stipulated that Canelo Alvarez, he would have to take on a premium opponent, at least one a year. And all of the opponents that Canelo Alvarez handpicked, they felt were not premium opponents, from Kovalev to Billy Joe Saunders and of course Rocky Fielding. So if you listen to what DAZN said, it's pretty congruent to what you guys have heard boxing fans, real boxing fans, and Oscar De La Hoya and myself say, that Canelo is trying to get the biggest payday for the weakest level of opposition. It's funny, he talks about Andre wants a payday, but the truth is, it's Canelo Alvarez that wanted a payday, and he didn't even want to put in the work to get the payday. Now, I'm about to get into the clip of Oscar De La Hoya calling out Canelo Alvarez, but before I do, speaking of Demetrius Andrade and Canelo accusing Andrade of just wanting a payday, did you guys know that all of the opponents that Canelo Alvarez has handpicked to fight, they make a fraction of the money that Demetrius Andrade makes? Did you guys know that? Demetrius Andrade makes over $1 million for all of his fights on DAZN. DAZN pays their fighters very well, as Devin Haney, Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, and other fighters would tell you. Now, if you guys are wondering what DAZN considered as premium fights, it would have been a fight with a Gennady Golovkin, a Demetrius Andrade, a Jamal Charlo, even an Oscar De La Hoya, because of course, that would be a huge story. You know, the fighter is fighting against his own promoter, a former pound-for-pound champion and gold medalist, someone who always went after the most dangerous opponents. There's no doubt, regardless of Oscar's age, the fight would sell. So that's a list of fighters or fights that they felt would be a premium fight for Canelo Alvarez. Of course, Canelo Alvarez, he turned it down. He didn't want to fight any of those guys. And now he's getting to fight whoever he wants as a free agent. With that all being said, now the gloves are off with Oscar, and now Oscar is telling the truth. Now Oscar, he's saying what he really and always wanted to say about Charlo, and I believe we're going to hear even more. I believe eventually Oscar De La Hoya is going to share the conversation he had with Canelo Alvarez, where he was trying to push him to fight either Andrade or Charlo. And see, this is the reason why when Oscar said, oh yeah, you're avoiding Charlo, this is the reason why Canelo never denied it, and all he basically did was accuse Oscar of being a snitch, telling on him. How did he respond? He responded by saying, you're a traitor. You were supposed to keep that secret between me and you. You know, how are you going to be a Mexican and tell everybody the truth? That's what he was saying to Oscar. So this is the way Oscar actually responded to when Canelo said, you know, go F yourself or get the F out of here. Check this out right here, guys.
The champ is here! Yeah. The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Fuck you. Talking all that shit. Fucking knock your ass out.
So there it is, guys. Oscar De La Hoya officially calls out Canelo Alvarez. And I'm telling you right now, if this was a prime Oscar De La Hoya, matter of fact, if this was the same Oscar De La Hoya that fought Floyd Mayweather, I would pick him to beat Canelo Alvarez. His height, his speed, his boxing ability, his foot movement, and his great chin. That would have been a complete dose of kryptonite for Canelo Alvarez. But Oscar De La Hoya is 48 years old right now, and I don't even know if Canelo would entertain that fight. You know, maybe he even feels like he has too much to lose in a fight like that. Because I can tell you right now, if Oscar can even make a Canelo fight competitive, that would make Canelo look bad. If he even made the fight competitive, that would make Canelo look bad. The fact that Canelo hasn't responded yet by challenging Oscar to a fight, that kind of sounds to me like he has no interest in facing Oscar De La Hoya. Remember, guys, when Juan Manuel Marquez was criticizing Canelo because of his level of opposition and also because of his flaws in the ring, Canelo got so angry, he challenged the very small Juan Marquez to a fight. But he didn't do that, or he hasn't done that yet with Oscar De La Hoya. And he also didn't do that when the champion at 154, Demetrius Andrade, was calling out the challenger who was his mandatory. Canelo was Demetrius Andrade's mandatory. Andrade called him a bitch and gave him a shot at his title, and Canelo Alvarez turned it down. But once again, he called out Marquez. Listen, there's no doubt about it. Regardless if Canelo gets the Caleb Plant fight or not, after the Caleb Plant fight, there is really no other serious opponents for Canelo Alvarez to face outside of Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, or David Benavidez. It's going to be really hard for Canelo Alvarez to sell a fight if it's not against one of those three. But if it was against Oscar De La Hoya, regardless of what people think about that fight, it would definitely be a big fight. I mean, the build up and everything, it would be huge. You know, so let's see. But once again, I feel because Canelo hasn't said anything about fighting Oscar De La Hoya, he probably feels he has too much to lose. Maybe he feels he doesn't want to, possibly get embarrassed. Who knows? Then at the same time, he could be eager to take the fight. We'll find out. We'll see how he responds to this news. Now, something else Oscar De La Hoya mentioned on his Instagram, which I thought was pretty interesting in comparison to Canelo Alvarez. Oscar revealed that when he fought the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., did you guys know that Oscar was the same age that Canelo Alvarez was when he fought Floyd Mayweather? Oscar was 23, but the only difference is Chavez wasn't 36 going on 37 like Floyd. Chavez was only 33. Not to mention, Teofimo was also 23 when he beat Lomachenko. So once again, this kind of takes away the ridiculous excuse of Canelo Alvarez not being ready at 23. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Hello, my name is Dominic. I just got my procedure done here at South Carolina's. I was recommended by Dante's Boxing Nation, and it's real. Here's the results. The brother out here, Brother Enoch, is real, and it's a very, very, very good recommendation. I recommend it. 4 hours, you in, you out, and it's the rest of your life.
So if anyone in the world wants this hookup, make sure you contact my man Anak at 704-499-3471 and make sure to follow him on Instagram. Now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.